So what if the one piece of advice we hear over and over again, just work hard, is actually wrong? Today, we're going to dig into the Joel Jada method, and it all starts with that really challenging idea.
Hard work isn't enough for you to be successful. I mean, that right there, it goes against pretty much everything we've been taught. Jada's whole point is that this belief is incomplete, and it's exactly why so many of us feel like we're just spinning our wheels.
You know, we're all out here grinding, putting in the hours. But is that really getting us where we want to go? Is it the actual key to building wealth and finding freedom? Jota's argument is that simply working harder might be the very thing holding you back.
Okay, so let's dive into Jota's first big point, why we have to completely rethink our relationship with hard work.
Think about this for a second. I bet this question on the screen makes you think of someone immediately. We all know that person. Heck, maybe we are that person who works their tail off day in and day out for years, and nothing really changes. That's the proof right there that effort alone just isn't the whole equation. And this is just such a perfect way to picture it. You can have the best seed in the world, the most brilliant idea, the strongest work ethic, but if you plant it in concrete, nothing's going to grow. All that hard work is completely wasted.
So the real game changer is shifting from hard work to intelligent work. And if you look at this comparison, it's not about ditching the effort. It's about adding focus. It's about moving from doing the same repetitive stuff to making strategic moves. Instead of running from failure, you start taking calculated risks. It's a huge shift from staying comfortable to actually actively investing in yourself.
Okay, so that all sounds great, but how do you actually start working intelligently? Well, Jada suggests a foundational habit that he says can literally change anyone's life. And you know what? It's incredibly simple. 30 minutes. That's it. Jada is convinced that anyone who carves out just 30 minutes a day, not to work, but to think about their life and their problems, will completely transform their path. It's not about finding more hours to hustle, it's about making a small window to get smart.
And the way you use this time is super practical. First, you just find a quiet moment. Jawada's is 5 a.m., but his big secret isn't waking up early, it's going to sleep early. Genius. Second, you write stuff down. Don't just let it swirl around in your head. Putting it on paper forces you to be clear. And finally, you just keep digging until you find the one core thing, the real bottleneck you need to fix.
And this is where the magic happens in those 30 minutes. The second you go from a vague feeling like I'm stuck to a crystal clear problem like I don't know how to find clients for my service, you're already halfway there. The solution starts to reveal itself. But once you have that clarity, you need the right tools in your toolbox to actually take action. And that's where Joda's 5 essential skills come into play.
These are the pillars of intelligent work. First up, communication. Basically, being able to make complicated things sound simple. Second, people skills, because at the end of the day, all business is human. Third is strategic thinking, and we're going to talk more about that in a sec. Fourth, learning quickly. Not just reading books, but actually applying, testing, and getting better. And finally, something he calls the logic of honor. The idea of serving people first, building that trust and reciprocity that just pays off massively down the road.
So this is what strategic thinking is really all about, getting disproportionate results. Look at the chart. It's not about putting in 3 units of effort to get 3 units of results. No, it's about finding that one smart move, that single unit of effort that gets you 3, 5, maybe even 10 times the return. That is true leverage. But look, having the right skills is only half the battle. To really execute, you need the right mindset, especially when it comes to handling the 2 biggest things that get in our way, pressure and ego. Now, Joda makes this really critical distinction he learned from sports. See, pressure isn't the bad guy. Pressure is like a good coach in your ear saying, come on, you can do more. It's a push forward. Tension, on the other hand, that's when you're stretched so thin you're about to snap. One builds you up, the other just leads straight to burnout. And this reframe is so powerful. Pressure is a measure of trust. Think about it. When a coach or a mentor pushes you, it's not because they want you to fail. It's a sign they believe in you. They believe that if they squeeze you a little, what comes out is going to be juice, not just a mess. They trust your potential. Joda learned this from his dad, who wasn't a swimmer, but was incredibly wise. See, after a race, his dad would never ask, "Did you win?" He'd ask, "What was your time?" The lesson was so clear. Stop worrying about the person in the lane next to you. Your only real competitor is who you were yesterday. If you just focus on beating your own time again and again, the wins will eventually take care of themselves.
All right, so let's tie all of this together. Let's build a clear blueprint that you can actually start using. So here's the big takeaway. The goal isn't just to work harder, it's to work smarter. And the path is right here. You start with that 30-minute habit of clear thinking, you build on it with those 5 essential skills, and you keep it all going with a mindset that sees pressure as a gift and focuses on competing with yourself. That's the blueprint.
And that leads us to this last and maybe the most important question. Jota tells this story about a mentee who saw a clear, proven path to success, but just kept insisting, I'm going to find a different way, all because of his ego. He was choosing to stay on the outside looking in. So the question for you, for all of us, is this. Where is your ego getting in the way? What proven advice are you ignoring just because you think you know better?